So while at the Custard Factory, I hooked up with a couple of good friends, DJ Danny Technique and a guy called Spud, both from Birmingham. We got together in the studio and formed an outfit called Bass Function. Bass Function were signed to Richard Malone's Fat and Round record label. Richard Malone was well known for his huge chart-topping record Move Your Body by Expansions. So yeah, I would describe the style of Bass Function as a mixture of breakbeat, jungle and house, which were collectively our main musical influences, you know. We had 3 overall singles, Push the Tempo, Fundamental, and we did a cover version of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, all distributed by Mo's Music Machine in the early 90s. So not so long after this set of releases, we formed 3Play, where we had 3 releases via Nice and Ripe sub-label In the Air Records. I actually discovered about Nice and Ripe label through Danny's records, Danny's record collection. Danny was a popular DJ in Birmingham. I'm noticing that many of the tunes that I really liked from his collection were early Nice and Ripe records. I actually thought Nice and Ripe was a US-based label because they had a very soulful, funky, underground house vibe to all their releases, you know, and I really like that. So it kind of reminded me of labels like Strictly Rhythm or Nervous or 8 Ball or Casual or King Street, Henry Street, you know, but it was a little bit different. It was more edgy, it was less vocals, more cut up, more dub orientated, especially with regards to the drums, solid drum patterns with great swing, which really resonated with me. I think maybe it was my jungle D&B background and also the music I grew up with in my household, soca, calypso, disco, funk, you know, which kind of resonated with me as well, you know. So after close inspection of the records, I keep seeing Grant Nelson's name pop up all the time, like, wow, Grant Nelson. Who is this guy? You know what I mean? So, you know, further inspection, I'm looking at the label, I'm seeing, okay, it's a London number here. It's a London telephone number, 01. Okay, so I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get in touch. So I got in touch with Nice and Ripe, got through to James, who was their A&R. I told them about the music we was doing as 3Play. I wanted to send them a demo of the tracks, so I did. They got back to me pretty much, you know, within a week. They loved it. And then, you know, eventually we had like 3 releases on their label, In the Air Records. So the first EP was the Custard Slice EP, Custard Slice, hence the name. You know, we were based at the Custard Factory, so we called it the Custard Slice EP. That was in 1996. The biggest track on there was a track called Rio, which was absolutely smashed by DJ EZ. And then not so long afterwards, we came up with another EP called the Cream of the Crop EP in 1996. Not so long, maybe a couple of years later, we re-released Rio, but with new mixes as well. All of these tracks were first pressed on dubplate. So I used to hook up with Carl Brown and Matt Jam the Month and go down with them to JTS vinyl pressing plant to cut dub plates in Hackney. I went there once a week, every other week with my dads, give it to Carl and Matt, and they used to cut it. For me, it was great to kind of be able to do that, just to see if my tracks were working or not, you know what I mean? So Carl and Matt used to cut it. Big shout going out to Freddie Freshplate. He used to cut all the dubs there at JTS. It was a good way for me to test the tracks, to see what's what, see which tracks are working. I might have needed to make adjustments on the arrangement, or sometimes the bass wasn't too loud, or sometimes it was too loud, or the vocals were too low, or had too much effects on the vocals, or whatever. So I made those adjustments because, you know, just seeing how it was played out in the clubs and seeing how the tracks were played alongside other tracks that they were playing as well. It was a good insight into me just, you know, tweaking up and readjusting the track to make it work in the club for, you know, for when we actually release it later on. So yeah, from there onwards, after the 3Play releases, I decided to do stuff by myself, and that's when I moved to London and decided to put out some releases on the In the Air Records label. Had 3 EPs initially under the name of Deep Cover Inc. The first EP was called Code 9 EP. And then I came out with another EP called Inner City Blues EP. Then the High Fly EP. I came out with another EP called the Rinse Out EP as Dub Foundation. Another EP dropped called the Fever EP as 24/7. The Theme EP as Deep Cover Inc. once again. And then I came out with another EP called the Flexin' EP as Freak the Funk. So all of these were on In the Air Records, which was Nice and Ripe's sub-label.